Hi, Karen Deis, publisher of Mortgage Currency Magazine, and this is the January 2013 update. In 2012, we wrote about 147 articles that affected loan originators, processors, underwriters, and company owners. That averages about 12 a month, or one rule change every 3 days. Man, that's a lot of changes out there, and that's why we interpret them for you so you can do what you do best, go out there and originate loans. I'm sure that you already know that FHA and VA have changed or updated their loan limits for 2013. Nothing has changed for FHA on the floor and ceiling, but there are changes within certain counties, and the loan limits for the floor and ceiling you can find in the charts and checklist section of the website. Now here's the thing. VA loan limits are not the same as FHA loan limits. In fact, they don't really have a floor or ceiling, but they have loan limits because that's what you have to use to figure out the maximum guarantee amount. That's why you'll also find the VA a separate chart in the charts and checklist section of the website. Now, speaking of VA, they have updated their Veterans Information Portal, the VIP, excuse me, to strengthen the security issues they've been having. Now, this is going to be one hot mess if you're not a SAP or a LAP approved lender. Now, while they're working on the upgrades and you're not one of those two, you'll have to contact your VA regional office. You're going to have to order case numbers over the phone. You're going to order your appraisals and certificates of eligibility over the phone. And it even gets worse than that because there's no drop-dead date when these security issues and portals will be updated. In fact, they're telling you in the 2 circular letters that we have on the website now, you're just going to have to wait your turn, and they're going to call you and let you know when it's ready for you to use. Freddie has issued a bulletin that says you can now get a verbal VOE after the loan closes. Now, basically what happens now is you're supposed to get it 10 days beforehand, but for the life of me, I can't understand why anybody would ever do that. The only reason I think they even did that is if somebody did forget to order a VOE, and this gives a loophole at the back end that you can order it after the loan is closed. Most of the articles from Fannie this month are just minor updates. We've written a lot about them before, but be sure to read DU 9.0 FAQs. They have 2 new questions and answers on there that clarify a couple things. One having to do with total funds verified when it shows up as a negative amount, and the other having to do with 30-day charge accounts and cash in the assets to back up those 30-day charge accounts that are not listed on the DU findings. On to NMLS. In March, the system is going to be upgraded, and there's going to be a number of changes that affect loan originators. In fact, NMLS has created a uniform state testing component that states can adopt and use if they don't want to create their own testing version. If it's adopted by your state authority, and I see that it's really helpful if you want to be approved in multiple states, because you're going to be virtually seeing that uniform test over and over again. And then secondly, the portal is being updated on the consumer section, so if you or a loan officer has had disciplinary action against them, it's going to be shown on the consumer portal, and the consumer will be able to read what that action was. Now, over the next few months, you're going to see a lot of rule updates from the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. This month, we interpreted a report on the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau and credit bureaus. and we've created a mortgage talking points flyer for you called How to Check Your Credit Report for Mistakes, and it is specifically for clients and your prospects and past clients. I also recommend that you might give it to real estate agents because it's something that they can hand out to their clients as well. Now, coming down the pike, it's already past the comment period, is the Consumer Finance Appraisal Disclosure Rules. Now, there are a lot of updates in them. Some of them you're maybe already using them, but now they become mandatory, and now there's specific dates that they have to be delivered. Now, there isn't an implementation date yet, but the reason I'm telling you about this is to double check with your loan origination system software and make sure that it's incorporated or being incorporated into their software pages. And finally, so I hope 2013 is your best year ever, that you get lots of loans approved. And remember, getting loans approved and closed these days is rocket science. Let us help you get them approved. Thanks for listening.